I want to talk a little bit before we get into our list later and the lunch rush later this hour about what Mark Carmen over at CHGO had tweeted a couple of nights ago and has been reported on in the last couple of days about the Bears Stadium. He tweeted, source, the Bears have made progress in their discussions with Arlington Heights and the school district board for their stadium deal. The belief is that Kevin Warren's timeline to get a deal done remains aggressive. And obviously this went nuts on X. It was like, whoa, wait a minute. What happened to the lakefront? He followed a little while later. Update, Bears continue to work towards a resolution regarding property taxes with school board in Arlington Heights on the land they own. AH remains, that's Arlington Heights, right, Jurko? AH remains hopeful the Bears will build their new stadium there. The Bears maintain their stadium focus remains on the museum campus in Chicago. So they still own the land in Arlington, which we've discussed a lot. Regardless of where they build, it seems like they are going to go to the state hat in hand and to the county. We'll see where that goes. I think there's more red tape and there are more hurdles to clear here at the lakefront. I think a better overall stadium and game day experience can be built at Arlington Heights. People tell me I should recuse myself, and they're probably right. I do not go to Bears home games. I have zero interest in going to Bears home games. I like watching football at home. I have 2 TVs. I try to watch as many of the games as I can. Red zone, different games, Bears. I'll go on a Bears road trip because that's fun. You see a different stadium. You're in a different city. It's an experience with family, friends, listeners, partners. Yes. I dig that once a year. I have zero interest in going to Bears home games. So maybe I should recuse myself. I will say this as a lifelong Chicagoan. I do feel like the Chicago Bears, even though I will never go, I feel like the Bears and us as Bears fans do deserve a true world-class facility. Soldier Field is not a world-class facility.
No.
Soldier Field, amongst all the stadiums in the NFL, is kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Let's face it. It is not even close to world-class. Wherever they do it world-class. It seems like Arlington is the better bet for that.
Absolutely. Arlington Heights is a much better place to be able, more room, more parking, Carm, more of the tailgate experience that people love.
Stop yourself when you say more parking. Just say parking.
Parking at all.
There's no parking at the new stadium.
Parking.
None.
Parking. Tailgate experience, Carm. I mean, ask the guys that go there. Adam Abdallah and Chris Black. I mean, they enjoy it's the whole experience. It's not just the 3 hours that they're kicking the football around.
When we talk about the game day experience, that matters, right, guys? Like if there were tailgating lots and entertainment districts and things like that.
Sure.
That's part of it, right?
Yeah. The congestion down there and getting in and out of that spot, that plot of land, takes away from the enjoyment of going to games. The games are fun. Getting in there, getting out, having it be like an 8-hour day to go to a sporting event, it gets tiresome after a while, especially if they're bad.
Oh, I
if
can
they're
imagine.
good,
Yeah.
you deal with it, and it's a lot of fun, and people want to go. I get it.
Yeah.
But through the last 30-plus years of Bears football, how many of those have been good years, and how many of those have been bad years? A lot of bad years.
It's a lot of bad.
A lot of bad years.
What, one back-to-back playoff season, right? Only once? Is that right? I think it is. In the last 30 years, I think it's one back-to-back playoff season.
A lot of bad years.
It's a lot of bad years. It's a lot of inconsistency.
But, yeah, you want space. You want to be able to tailgate. You want to be able to hang out, enjoy the day, get there in a timely fashion, go home when you want to go home.
Yeah.
Like, that's stuff that I'm concerned with.
Yeah, and I would think a lot of Bears fans are concerned with that. Now, some are going to die with, no, it's got to be on the lakefront. Like Michael Wilbon's one of them. And I know there are other fans. They've called us, and they vocalized it to us. Some don't care as much. What's important to you? And maybe for people like me that won't go, it doesn't matter. But if you are a season ticket holder, if you're on the waiting list, if they've been in your family for years and you go to a lot of games, what's important to you as they go back and forth with these two sites, 312-332-3776?
If nobody in the NFL ever left like their proper home and moved out to the suburbs, and the Bears were the first ones to do it, then I'd be more against them moving out to Arlington Heights, and I'd want them to stay on the lakefront. But that's already happened. Dallas doesn't have their team in Dallas. Frisco doesn't have their team. That's already happened.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I mean, so that's not a
Cardinals
problem
playing
for anybody.
Glendale,
Yes.
you know? I mean, the Mets, the Jets and the Giants play in New Jersey. They don't even play in the same friggin' state.
Yes. I mean, so what are we talking about? We're talking about trying to make the fan experience the best. And again, I still say it. The revenues that can be created with a multiple use, not only the facility, but everything that's going to be involved around there. And if that adds to the bottom line and allows the Bears to compete a little bit better on free agents, then that's fantastic. And what I mean by that is being able to offer more guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Because we're all operating on the same salary cap.
Right.
But when you can guarantee money, there's a chance you get players.
Yeah. When you've got the liquid to put more of that guaranteed money in escrow
liquid
that's
capital.
required.
Yeah, liquid capital, Carm.
Yeah, I still think the land in Arlington would be best for them. Who knows where this ends up? I don't even know if we're close.
You tore down a perfectly good racetrack.
Yeah, you did.
To build a stadium, and then you hire a guy, and all of a sudden you're flirting with the mayor.
I know.
Quit flirting with the mayor.
I do also think that, unfortunately, as taxpayers, and if you live in Cook County, you live in the state of Illinois, it's going to get ramrodded down our throats. We're going to have to pay for some of it. Jacksonville's the latest. The Jacksonville City Council voted 14-1 Tuesday night to approve an agreement between the Jaguars and the city on a $1.4 billion renovation of Everbank Stadium. Like Jurko said, that's a stadium. It's only about 30 years old, but you need $1 billion. You need $1.5 billion to renovate it.
Yeah, they start playing there in 1995. They've already renovated it once.
Brings the Jags one step closer to securing the long-term stability of the franchise. If it happens, construction is scheduled to begin after the team's 2025 season and conclude in time for the start of the 2028 season. The Jags and the city have agreed to each contribute $625 million to the renovation. The city has also agreed to pay $150 million over the next 2 seasons on maintenance and repairs to prepare the stadium for construction. That means the city will be responsible for 55% of the total cost. See, this is what I mean. They'll ramrod it here, too. In addition, the agreement calls for Jags owner Saad Khan to be responsible for cost overruns of the renovation, as well as 80% of the game day expenses. This, in addition to the renovation, the deal between the city and the Jags includes a 30-year lease. So we always thought that the Jags would be the team that plays full-time in Europe. That ain't happening.
Well, but they're still, what's going to stop them from doing what they're doing now? Still going over and playing 1 or 2 games.
They will play 1 game and potentially a second in years in which they have 9 home games and the league mandates them. So they will continue to play at least once, but forget about playing a full-time schedule in London, which we always kind of thought made sense, and we thought that might happen. That goes out the window once this is, everything is signed off on here.
And Donna Deegan is the mayor there. She used to be on Channel 2 down there. In CBS.
And she's the mayor now?
Nice. She's the mayor now.
Nice.
Yeah. She was Donna Hicken for a while. Mm-hmm. In the real Ron Burgundy. What was the whole Ron Burgundy movie?
Anchorman.
Anchorman, yeah, Ron. Yeah. She's dating a sports guy. They get married. They have 2 kids, right? Then the weather guy. Like Anchorman. Then the weather guy, Tim Deegan, I believe is his name. Oh no, it wasn't the weather guy. It was the weather guy's brother. They're out there running in their events. They're runners, and all of a sudden, Russian hands.
The weatherman?
It was the weatherman's brother. Russian hands and Roman fingers. The next thing you know, she's divorced and she's married to the weatherman's brother. And they all work together in classic Ron Burgundy fashion. They all work together.
I'd like to invite you to the pants party.
Yeah, well, she's the mayor now, and she's doing a wonderful job in Jackson.
Ryan's in Mount Prospect. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, guys. Ironically enough, I'm driving right by the stadium now on my way home. I just bought a home in Mount Prospect a couple of years ago. I might actually go to a Bears game if it's built out here. I will pay more money. I am praying that they move that team out here. I'm sorry. I hate the back and forth, and I'm honestly got my own stuff about the Cubs going on and all the other crap going on in the sports world. But it would mean everything to me if they could move what's literally 2 miles down the road.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
You got it, Ryan. There's one. Ryan's gung-ho about it.
Listen, I already go to Rosemont for some of the events that are in Rosemont. Concerts. I've already gone. I drive to Rosemont. What the hell's another 10 minutes? I live in Northwest Indiana.
From Rosemont, I'd maybe say it's a little bit more than 10 minutes. But, yeah, you're going that way.
It depends how you drive.
That's true. Touche.
Yeah. Two Chet. Yeah.
He's the kid who's getting drafted first overall tonight, right?
Chet. Yeah. You got a lot of hairy jokes going on today. You all right?
Well, we were off yesterday. I'm making up for it today.
Yeah.
By the way, I can't believe
How
we took a
unfortunate
day
that
off
was.
yesterday and then they canceled the
Well,
golf
I mean, listen,
outing.
the rains came. The rains came in the morning. You saw the rains. They're going to make it maybe walking only, but they weren't going to make a call on it until about 12:30. So it was a little late. You know, I thought we're either going to be there, we're going to go, we're going to make the commitment. And so I didn't call it. It was called.
I know. I'm not blaming you.
Boom.
But I mean, burn a day off when we don't play golf. I barely want to take a day off to play golf anyway, let alone.
I turned it into a round at Lost Dunes next Wednesday.
Yeah, and then Viking Scott's texting me about. I'm like, I work.
So does that mean Jurko's going to
have
be
a
off
job.
on Wednesday?
No,
Like,
guys, check the thing. I know when you guys are going to be off. Check the thing. My day is already in.
I'm working next Wednesday. Like I don't
I'm
just
off the 3rd and the 5th, boys. I'm taking a weekend.
You know, people are always like, "Oh, you don't."
Jurko is off the 3rd and the 5th.
Right? I mean, it's out there. It's not like it's a surprise.
Well,
And the
working.
26th, and then August 16th, August 19th, August 26th through the 30th, and then he's also going to be off. No days off in
Why am I
September
off?
yet.
Wait a minute. Why am I off the 19th? By the way, once September starts, there are no days off.
When September ends,
Yeah.
I have to take one day in September for my stupid knee
Well, you
surgery,
do.
so.
You do.
It's not on the calendar yet.
September 11th.
Once
on the calendar
once
yet.
September begins, that's it. That's football.
I know. Yeah, I just did this. The way the schedule unfortunately worked out, I will be required to take one day off for
even
the surgery.
between like the Christmas. Fortunately, Christmas is a Wednesday this year,
Well, I'll be off at
and
Christmas.
New Year's is a Wednesday. Well, we're both going to be off, but that Monday and that Friday, we'll be working.
Yes.
Because
no
it's
days
in,
off except
it's
in
in
December.
between those days. But you know what I'm
I
saying?
know what you're saying, yes.
I mean, you're taking Christmas off to be with the family, right?
Yes.
No days off during the football season except for the last 2 weeks of the year.
Exactly.
But-
I'll be taking a whole week in December
And
during the
thanks- the
football
weekend.
We
season.
Some
will
of
be
Thanksgiving.
here. We will be here on Monday,
I'll be in St. Lucia.
and we'll be here on Friday, right? We'll be here on Friday.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Monday
Well,
and Friday.
Speak for yourself. I haven't planned out that far yet.
I'm going to be
I
honest.
don't
At
want
my
to be gone
age,
for a
guys,
week.
New Year's Eve doesn't matter anymore.
Doesn't matter. I don't care
I
about
don't
New
give a
Year's
rat's
Eve.
ass about New
I'm gonna
Year's
stay
Eve.
home and
New
cook.
Year's Eve doesn't
I
matter.
mean, Ben,
New Year's
New
Eve.
Year's Eve hasn't mattered in years.
No,
25
yeah,
years.
yeah, that's my point. When I was
Yeah.
25, 27, 28,
I
I mean, it was fun.
I want to stay home, drink some good wine, make dinner.
I'd be in bed by 10.
Yeah, well, I'll stay up. I like to stay up for the New Year.
Nah, doesn't matter.
See Gene Greco. Well,
I
you
did
don't even get to
last
see
year.
Gene Greco and Janet
I
anymore.
saw it last year when the pierogi drop
Yeah.
up in
Well, you were
Whiting,
at the
Indiana.
pierogi
Whoa,
drop
you
last
kidding me? It was cold.
Yeah, so I will not be playing with you at Lost Dunes next Wednesday. Have fun. I'm not taking another day off to go play golf, and then if it rains, we're not going to play. I mean,
It happens to coincide with my day off. That's
it's
my
good-
point
good
I'm
for
trying to tell you.
I know. Yeah,
Okay?
good. I'm glad. I'm
Thinking
glad
about
you
spending the whole day up there.
glad you parlayed it into something.
Coming up Tuesday night, staying over, waking up early, having a little breakfast,
Good for you. The list of lists.
maybe some bourbon.
coming up, plus the lunch rush.